Johnson met with ultimate tragedy.
Reaching 300 miles per hour in seconds, drag racing has become one of the most dangerous sports, and these fatal crashes prove it, with most also becoming the backbone for safety changes. Scott Kalitta was one of NHRA's most experienced nitro drivers, a two-time top fuel champion in 1994 and 1995, and a longtime funny car competitor for his family team led by Connie Kalitta. By 2008, he was driving a Toyota Solara funny car, capable of exceeding 300 miles per hour in under 5 seconds. His career included 18 professional wins and decades of experience managing the violent behavior of nitromethane engines. On June 21, 2008, during qualifying for the Lucas Oil NHRA Super Nationals at Old Bridge Township Raceway Park, just after crossing the finish line at over 300 miles per hour, the engine exploded with enough force to blow off most of the fiberglass body. This instantly removed aerodynamic downforce, effectively turning the car into a lightweight chassis with no stability. At the same moment, the parachute system deployed in a damaged state and failed to open fully, eliminating the primary deceleration method. An even rarer factor followed. The clutch locked due to the explosion, meaning the 10,000 horsepower engine continued driving the rear wheels even after the throttle input stopped. Kalitta applied brakes, leaving over 1,800 feet of tire marks.
On the right side, Scott Kalitta on the left.
You watch, Scott makes a decent run down the track, run that got him in the show, but at 300 miles per hour approaching the finish line, the car exploded, and as a result, the car went off the end of the track, and the injuries from that accident took Scott.
The final phase became increasingly abnormal. The car entered the sand trap still at high speed, where the front dug in and pitched the chassis upward like a ramp launch. Medical crews from the NHRA Safety Safari reached the wreck almost immediately. Kalitta was found still strapped in the remnants of the cockpit, but with massive blunt force trauma. He was unconscious and received oxygen as he was extricated. Kalitta was then transported by ambulance to the Old Bridge Division of Raritan Bay Medical Center. Despite life-saving efforts, Scott Kalitta was pronounced dead on arrival. After his crash, NHRA accelerated the adoption of shorter 1,000-foot races for top fuel and funny car to increase post-finish runoff and reduce risk, moving away from the traditional quarter-mile distance. Blaine Johnson was a dominant force in NHRA drag racing during the mid-1990s, a 4-time top alcohol dragster champion who transitioned successfully into top fuel. By 1996, he was leading the championship and had already secured multiple national event wins. Driving the Travers Tool dragster tuned by his brother Alan Johnson, he was known for precision and consistency at extreme speeds, pushing the limits of top fuel performance beyond 300 miles per hour at the time. On August 31, 1996, during Saturday qualifying for the 82nd U.S. Nationals, after crossing the quarter-mile finish line at over 300 miles per hour, Blaine's engine suddenly exploded. A connecting rod bolt failed just after the finish line, triggering a violent chain reaction inside the engine. Debris from the failure damaged a rear tire, and the car lost control almost instantly. It veered into the left retaining wall, then crossed the track and struck the opposite barrier in the shutdown area.
U.S. Nationals are usually laced with festivity, but in early qualifying, Blaine Johnson met with ultimate tragedy.
The final moments revealed another unusual factor involving track design. The crash occurred in the shutdown area, but at a section where a gap existed in the wall for access. The car's trajectory aligned with this opening, allowing it struck the barrier harder. Blaine was airlifted to nearby Methodist Hospital. Although he survived the crash itself, the injuries were catastrophic. Blaine's head had struck the wall, causing unsurvivable brain injuries. After several hours of surgery, Blaine was pronounced dead that day. At the time of his death, Blaine was the first top fuel driver killed in a national event since 1971. His death spurred NHRA to tighten track standards. Indianapolis Raceway Park then closed the access gap in the shutdown wall to create a continuous barrier. Randy Alexander, a 69-year-old NHRA top sportsman racer from Alabama, known for decades of competition in Division II events. A Vietnam veteran and longtime racer at Huntsville Dragway, he drove a 1963 Corvette capable of exceeding 160 miles per hour in the quarter mile. On May 5, 2018, during eliminations at the NHRA Southern Nationals at Atlanta Dragway in Commerce, Georgia, Alexander was competing in the first round against Bob Mandel, a faster car capable of over 200 miles per hour. But Mandel started later because of handicap start, so Alexander's slower car went first to equalize the race. Immediately after crossing the finish line at approximately 160 miles per hour, Alexander's Corvette lost stability without a confirmed mechanical failure. Instead of staying in his lane, the car drifted laterally across the track, entering the opposite lane directly in front of Mandel. This created a rare closing speed difference of over 40 miles per hour between two cars, no longer under acceleration, but still traveling at extreme speed. Mandel, at roughly 203 miles per hour, had no time to react. The impact was nearly perpendicular, a T-bone style collision uncommon in drag racing, where cars typically travel straight. The force launched Alexander's Corvette into the air, rotating it before it slammed into the concrete guard wall deep in the shutdown area.
Here it comes. Oh no, sideways across the track. A significant incident in the top end. As it appears, both cars have come together in the shutdown area. Randy Alexander's car came across the racetrack, caught here underneath.
Immediately after the crash, track safety crews and NHRA emergency response personnel swarmed the wreck. Mandel, unharmed, was quickly attended to, but required no aid. Alexander, however, was trapped in the wreckage. Rescue crews took over an hour to extricate him from his mangled Corvette. He was loaded into an ambulance and taken to a nearby hospital. According to official reports, Alexander was unconscious, but alive during transport. Sadly, he was pronounced dead at the medical facility a few hours later. Darrell Russell was a rising top fuel dragster driver. At age 35, he had earned 2001 Rookie of the Year honors and multiple event victories. By mid-2004, he had multiple event wins and was driving for Joe Amato's team. On June 27, 2004, at the NHRA Sears Craftsman Nationals at Gateway International Raceway in Madison, Illinois, Darrell Russell lined up in the second round of eliminations against Scott Kalitta. His car accelerated to over 320 miles per hour in just over 4.5 seconds, moments after crossing the finish line at approximately 322.73 miles per hour. A catastrophic and highly unusual failure occurred. The left rear Goodyear slick exploded. Unlike a typical blowout, the tire blew so hard, sending steel belts and rubber fragments outward with extreme force. The sudden loss of the tire destabilized the rear of the car and compromised the rear wing's effectiveness, and within milliseconds the chassis began to break apart. In a rare sequence, debris from the exploding tire penetrated the cockpit from behind, bypassing protective structures and striking Russell in the head. The car then lost control, collided with the wall, and burst into flames as the fuel system ruptured.
Russell's car has literally broken into 3 pieces. The safety system. Watching the gears go down there, just as soon as that tire goes out, takes that wing out, you're looking out to that point, except wait for that thing to come bus stop, and there did appear to be.
The medical helicopter quickly hoisted Russell and flew him to St. Louis University Medical Center. He was unconscious, but breathing on his own. About 2 hours after the accident, Darrell Russell was pronounced dead of his injuries.
This evening we had a very serious accident involving one of our most popular top fuel drivers, Darrell Russell. Unfortunately, as a result of that accident, Darrell succumbed to his injuries, and the NHRA offers its condolences to the family and the entire racing community.
This was the first drag racing death at an NHRA national event in 8 years, since Blaine Johnson in 1996. Goodyear, the NHRA's exclusive tire supplier, quickly developed an improved dragster tire, a harder compound that resists expansion and delamination, and introduced it only days after the crash. NHRA mandated that all cars switch to this new tire beginning at the next race, effectively ending use of the problematic slick that Russell used.